Hey guys, so I've joined a local meetup for getting together. It's the Tampa RC Craft Group, and they're on Facebook if you want to check them out if you're in the area. But anyway, we meet once a month, and I am finding that the craft tote that I used was not working out for me. So I saw on Pinterest, Allen Design Studios had altered one of these large open tote tool bags from Home Depot. So I thought, oh, I love that idea. You can personalize it. And so with painting it, and that's what I decided to do. So the only thing is that most of them come with their own logo imprinted in heavy embroidery. And so this had a large Husky, because this is a Husky 17 or 19 inch tool tote. I can't remember which one. But again, picked it up at Home Depot. It has Husky written out and then a little emblem here. So I took my seam rippers and I took out the embroidery, because otherwise, even painting over it, that would raise up and it would still be seen, even if you're painting over it. So I decided to take seam rippers, rip that all out. It took a really long time to do that too. I broke 2 seam rippers doing it because they really get that logo in there super tight. So anyway, I got it done on one side, and by the time I made it over here, I decided that was as good as it's going to get. At least I got the main part, the words out. So I'll just leave this in the design and kind of paint around that. But anyway, so I wanted to show the before and kind of go over like my thought process on what I'm going to do. I am going to take an Allen wrench and take out this handle so that it'll be easier to paint, and plus I don't want to get any paint on the handle. I kind of want to leave, I think the inside pockets and everything are going to stay unpainted, because putting tools in and out, even though I'm going to use, where's this at? I am going to use this Folk Art textile medium with my paints, but since I'm not using a fabric paint, I just want to be able to use whatever paint color I want. So I decided to get the textile medium so that I could do that. You just mix this in with regular paint, and then it's supposed to be good to go on fabric. And this is a cloth, cotton denier, 600 thread count that's on here. So it is heavy duty, but it should be good to accept the paints. And again, when you do that and you're carrying it around, you don't want the paint to chip off. So I'm going to gesso it first. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use white gesso. That way I can put more black into it if I want. And then, which I will. And then I'm just going to leave the inside pockets alone. I liked this tool tote because it's open, but also because the bar isn't stationary. It does rotate out of the way, because when I'm reaching in for stuff, I didn't want to have to worry about, keep on hitting this bar every time. So I do like this one. This is the main reason why I went with this one. This seemed to be the only one that had the rotating bar. So most others are just all stationary. But I love the inside pockets. There were so many things I like about it. I like open concept design instead of a closed case, because you have to keep opening and closing it whenever you want to access your tools or mediums or whatever. So I do like the concept of an open tote instead of the closed one, like the wheel carry, luggage like pieces. This is and I'm not traveling like with a flight or anything, so this is fine for me and the type of crafting outside of my home that I'm doing. So, but anyway, and then I also liked all the pockets. There's these 2 on the end. They have these really big pockets here. Again, the only thing I really just don't like is the red on it. And again, I wanted to just kind of zhuzh it up. I got totally inspired by that Allen Design Studio who altered hers, and it looks so cool. This other side has these really cool separated 2 large pockets here, and then there's just more on the back side. So again, really nice tool tote. I just don't like the way it looks on the outside. So I thought I would just come on here and show you what I'm doing. Right now I went outside and grabbed my Allen wrenches because I got to try to take this bar off, because I don't want to get the paint on the bar or anything. And I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to gesso it. And I probably won't be back to I'm not going to do a process video because it's going to take a long time for me to paint. And so I'll be back after it's done so you can see the before and after. Hey there, so I had to put my camcorder on the tripod. Well, it's always on the tripod. I had to pull my tripod down and put this out on my craft room island so that I could show you what it looks like because it's so big. So excuse me if I'm a little jittery. So this is how it turned out, and I wanted it to be super colorful and kind of whimsical just because, you know, it's a kind of an art play group. So anyway, let me kind of do the turnaround here so you can see all the different sides. I just did like a wash of paper artsy paints, paper artsy paints, and stamps, and freehand doodling and drawing. So there's kind of a little bit of everything on here. And what else? I didn't paint the inside because I thought with me putting stuff on the inside here, as you can see, I didn't know how that would stand up to me pulling things in and out. So none of the insides are done on the pockets or the interior of the open tote here. I did go ahead and decide to do the cushiony part of the handle and paint it. So even though I'm going to be picking it up and stuff, I probably shouldn't have done that, but we'll see how that holds up. And here's the other side that I did here, and you can kind of see I did do the inside here but not in there. This is super stiff now too because it's got so many layers of gesso and paint on it. And I did do a cutout with my dies, some felt flowers just to cover up the... Don't bother taking the stitching out because it looked horrible after I painted it. You could still see it. Not so much the logo, but it was just real lumpy and bumpy and I didn't like it. So that's why I decided to just go ahead and cut out some felt flowers and throw those on top of it. And I didn't know I was going to do that. Otherwise I wouldn't have painted those. I'll probably do something else and paint over that later at a later date. Honestly, I spent all weekend painting this thing, so I was just kind of tired of working on it. I kind of want to move on to something else. But anyway, so there's that. And then here is this end over here. Again, I got tired of painting and doodling, so I just decided to throw a big felt flower over here. And again, I just did mark making. You could tell I was getting to the point where I was like, okay, I'm kind of tired of this. And so I just started throwing dabs of paint on here and just doing some mark making on it. Because this is a really big tote. So to paint all this was definitely a chore. But again, I really like the way that it turned out because it's super colorful and whimsical, and that's not really my style, but for my bag I wanted it to be. So I didn't go shabby chic or vintage. It's just really colorful and I like it. So anyway, yeah, if you can't find a craft tote that you like, then just kind of adapt one and make it your own. And I think this one was $35 at Home Depot, and given how huge it is and the things that I wanted, I'm glad that I decided to go that route. Okay, you guys, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you later.